Dudes, I know I said my next video was going to be like, showing off some games on my Steam Deck, but then Valve dropped this announcement. They dropped a whole line of new hardware. Like, there's going to be more Steam Deck news, probably the Steam Deck 2, which, I do want to get me one of the MOLEDs, but if they're very close to announcing a successor to the Steam Deck, I'm probably going to wait. At the very least, when they do announce it, hopefully this goes down in price. Because I do hear the OLED model actually has far more power than a regular Steam Deck. Because I have the LCD Steam Deck, the 512 version, and it runs everything that I want it to run. But I won't say no to more power. I'm loving my Switch too, but I'm primarily playing Nintendo games on it. Although there are some third-party games I want to get, specifically the ones that are fully on card. That's the advantage the Switch has over the Steam Deck, I feel, is that you can actually physically own your games if they're first party. The game key cards, bleh, I hate them. But, this isn't about Nintendo Switch 2. This is about Steam. And this isn't about the Steam Deck. This is about this beauty right here. This controller looks amazing. Good Lord, man. Like, of all the things they announced, this is the one thing I am 1000% gonna get. I mean, it's probably gonna be stupid expensive, but hopefully it's not more expensive than an Xbox Series controller, since that's the kind of controller that I use. But the fact that it's basically a Steam Deck without a screen, yeah, no, I need this controller. Especially if it can wake the Steam Deck up from sleep mode, because that's a big issue I have. I always have to get up and, push the button just to turn it on, which, ain't a big deal. It's a little bit of exercise, but it's also just, it reminds me of when I used to get up and exchange discs on my PS2. Either way, this controller is going to be probably my favorite. Probably. But I know everyone's talking about this, the Steam Machine. Dude, all they had to say was it's 6 times more powerful than a Steam Deck. And the Steam Deck can pretty much already run almost everything that I want to run on it. Cyberpunk doesn't really get a whole lot of playtime, but I'm not playing Cyberpunk on my Steam Deck. I am playing it on Switch too, but that's beside the point. The Steam Deck being able to run Cyberpunk at all is like, I feel like that was how Nintendo decided, hey, let's get Cyberpunk on our Switch too. Anyway, all these games on here, dude, look at all the games I have here, all right? If I I know though that this Steam system is going to be like super expensive because they're basically saying, "Oh, it's a PC." And it is, It's probably running Linux, so you might want to, learn how to use Linux if you're going to use this machine. Either way, I'm hoping that right out the gate this thing can run everything. It's definitely going to be expensive. I am just betting it's going to be at least $1,500 at minimum. I hope I'm wrong. If they somehow manage to get this to be maybe $400 or $500, even $600. Yeah, you know what? Looking at the Steam Deck by itself, let's see what the most powerful version, the one with the most space. This is 1 terabyte and it's $649. At the very least, I think what's going to happen is this. Hold on. I think they have the spacings. There's going to be 2 versions, I think. A 512 gigabyte one and a they have all the specs on the page. So if you want to know that, you can do that. Oh, okay. Well, I do know that they're going to be having a 2 terabyte version, and based on the fact that the 1 terabyte Steam Deck is $649. I expect the Steam Machine 2 terabyte version to be more expensive than $650. But if they do a 512 version, maybe it'll be on par with the Steam Deck, but it's probably going to end up being $600-700 if I had to guess. Now, considering it's a PC, that actually makes sense. Because I did spend like $800 on my current rig, and it runs pretty much everything that I own on my Steam library. So at the very least, this being a dedicated gaming machine / PC / whatever, it's going to be amazing to have, especially on the downstairs. It probably won't be able to run all the streaming services I want to the way that I want it to, but that's neither here nor there. I I'm just excited for the controller. Like this controller right here, man, it's what I've been wanting. Anyways, I've been gushing about this enough. I'll leave you guys to it. I think my next video will definitely be not playing games on my Steam Deck, but just showing off the kind of games that I have on there, specifically the non-Steam ones, because I know some of you asked for that last time. Anyway, I've been your boy Jay, and I'll see you guys next video.